All right, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. The main purpose of today is to review how to set up your user access to the client portal, and we're also going to go over some general navigation. So again, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it, and we think you are going to enjoy the portal just as much as we have. So I'm going to show my screen here, and what I'm going to do, actually, let's hold, we're going to wait about a minute or so. We have a few more registrants that it looks like have not been able to log in yet. So let's give this around 30 seconds or a minute and give them a little bit of time, and then we'll get started. Thanks. Okay, so it looks like everybody was able to get logged in here. So let's go ahead and get started. As I mentioned, main goal of today is how to set up your user and also some general portal navigation. And I know technology can be a change, but I want to show this kind of quick video where, you know, as much as some of us like myself who are kind of tech geeks would like to see technology do more, it's not, can't be used in every situation, I should say. So I'm going to kick off this video, then we'll get started.
Emma. 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 Nouveau le trèfle maxiphone, vraiment plus large.
So as we've just seen, we can't really use an iPad for everything. So I did see a little bit of lag in the video, so I'll follow up with a link to that video for you guys to watch after the webinar. So let me show my screen here again. You should be able to see our main website. And once you get to the main website, how to get logged in is you want to go to the client login section and click New Client Portal. That will take you to the login screen. Now, if you have not created your user yet, what you're going to want to do is your username can be whatever you would like. This social security number and date of birth here, what you're going to need is the social security and the date of birth of the primary contact in the household. And who that is in the registration email you would receive from us, that would have stated who that primary contact is, so you know which social security and date of birth to use. Once you have that data, you'll just need to enter the social security name in here, the date of birth here, and then create a security question and security answer. Now, you can use that date of birth and social security for multiple users. So if it's a husband and a spouse, or maybe you want to share access with a child or a CPA or an attorney you're dealing with, you can do that. So once you have that information, create the user, and then what's going to happen, which we can just walk through. I will create a fictitious one here using our demo account. All right, click on security. And we will create that login. Now what's going to happen is that's going to have an email sent to you, which allows you to set up your password. Then you can set up your password and be able to log in. So I'm going to go ahead and get logged in here. So now that I'm logged in, the first area that I want to direct you to is this area up at the top left. So right by your name, the purpose of this is we want to set up your profile. So if we click the little drop down arrow, then click user profile, there's authentication and notifications as the main two areas I want to point out. Address and phone numbers, those are pretty straightforward. The authentication piece, so what two-factor authentication is if you were to log into our portal from a new browser, or maybe you got a new phone, or we're using a public computer, we obviously would not recognize that browser. So if two-factor authentication is on, then you would have the option to log in or send a 4-digit code to either your email address or your mobile phone. You have to have both of these options on there to set up two-factor authentication. I recommend everybody set this up, but the default on this is turned to off. The notifications piece is simply an area where you can be alerted on certain things of the portal, as well as set up what I think is a super cool text feature. So if you put your mobile phone in here and click verify, that will send you a verification code that you'll enter that code in and allow you to request things like balance, performance, status of your RMDs, or book an appointment with us directly from your phone. So you can text BAL back, and that'll give you the balance of all of your accounts. It's a really neat feature. Once you have that your mobile phone verified, what I recommend is you just save that contact of where you received that text from. You could save it as Centorbi Client Portal. So that way you always know the number to text back if you want to use those texting features like BAL, PER, I think it's PERF, and so on and so forth. These three areas here are different subscriptions you can subscribe to. So like as an example, if you want to see status of RMDs, like one that on a weekly basis, click weekly, what day of the week, the time you would like it, and do you want to receive it via email or text, so on and so forth. On our previous portal, the portfolio balances would always be sent to you the same day of the week. Some individuals liked receiving that, some did not want to receive it. So on this portal here, we allow the option, you can set what day of the week, the day of the time, or maybe you want to get it daily, or maybe you want to get it monthly, and that can be sent to you via email or text. Same with performance, that can be sent as well. This mobile push area, what we're looking to do is roll that out either fourth quarter of this year or first quarter of 2019. But basically what we would be utilizing there is for anybody that has their mobile phone subscribed or verified or has downloaded our app will be able to keep in touch with you if there's any important alerts or updates on the firm or specifically on any of your accounts as well. So whatever changes you make to authentication and notifications, make sure you save those. But that is one thing I do recommend everybody does when they first log in is get that profile set up, and then that will be taken care of for you moving forward. So general navigation. So on this left side here is different ways you can update all of the information here on the right. So as an example, right now I have all accounts highlighted. So what that means is any area that I select over here on the left is going to correspond or correlate directly to whatever I have selected. So if I just select one account, all of this information on the right is only going to show which account I have selected. So as you'll see there, it'll get updated, and then that's going to show just what this account here. Now, these 4 tabs at the top is different more detailed ways you can look at the data that's in the portal. So for instance, right now we have the demo accounts, one demo account selected here. If we use this drop-down box, which you'll see this all throughout the portal, it'll just give us a more detailed look at the different, whatever account we're looking at, or if it's holdings we're looking at. Now we're going to select asset category. So what asset category is that high-level view. So what's in cash? What is in stocks? What is in bonds? Those types of high-level categories. If we click one more deeper, or what I call asset class, then it's going to get real granular. So what is in, large cap? What is in mid cap, small cap, cash, so on and so forth. The last one is what we call risk category. Now, what that is going to break down is how we look at risk. We look at risk in one of two different ways. It's either at risk or it's safe. Safe investments would be like CDs, fixed annuities, fixed indexed annuities, cash, those types of investments, whereas risk is anything that has an opportunity for a loss. So right now we're on portfolio overview. You can look at all of this data from an all account view. So that's going to show all of your accounts. You can select by each account, and then you can break down by the top 4 tabs. Always be able to select these down arrows to get a little more granular. Now we're going to move on to performance. So one thing to always note on the performance is this area here. It is going to default a 1-year rolling period. So what I mean by that is it's going to look at the last 1 year based on the date you log in. So, we're logged in right now, and it's going to show the last year over that period of time. Now, on the left, again, you can look at it by all accounts. You can look at it by individual account. So I just selected one account here. Over here on the right, we'll update and show just the performance of this individual account. Then you can look at it by asset category. Again, asset category is high-level view. Think of stocks or equities, cash. We look at asset class. That's going to get one step granular. Cash, large cap value, mid growth, small cap, so on and so forth. Risk category is then going to look at what we call safe and risk. And at any time, you can select those drop-down boxes to look at what we consider safe, what we consider risk, and that'll show you individual performance on each one of those. Holdings. Holdings is going to be broken down very similar as before. I'm going to select back over here on all accounts. You can break this down per account and see what the holding is for each one of your accounts. Or you can look at it by asset category. That's that high-level view again. Think equities, fixed income. Use the drop-down box. That'll show you, the granular individual security-based data. Or you can look at asset class, large value, large growth, large core, so on and so forth. Then you can also look at risk category. So risk and safe, what that looks like. Then we have activities. Activity is basically looking at that high-level review. What I consider, a lot of people ask, here's what I deposited, here's what I initially, my net investment, what does my portfolio look like? One thing is when you're navigating through the portal, this drop-down box here next to the dates will allow you to quickly look at either 1, 3, 5, 10-year period, since inception, last 30 days, month to date, quarter to date, so on and so forth. I'm just going to increase this a little bit to give us a little more data. So this shows beginning market value, what was initially deposited. Then we move on to here, that's contribution, so dollars we contributed. If I click on this arrow here, it'll show me when each deposit came in. Then it'll show distributions, so money that went out of the accounts. Then it shows this section right here is which account it came out of. Then if there's a market value increase or decrease, what the value of those accounts increased or decreased over the period of time that we have up here at the top. So we talked about the portfolio overview, performance, holdings, activity. and general navigation. As you go through the portal, the big thing that I always want to touch on is whatever level of the accounts you have over here, that's what's going to show over on your main screen towards the middle of the portal. So I'm going to move on to documents. So there's three main tabs in documents: statements, cloud storage, and reports. When we click on cloud storage, what you want to think of, if you were on our old portal, is the client vault. These are the 4 different folders that we have. We've added a couple sample documents here. It's real simple to add a document. If you click upload file, this will take you to your file explorer. You just select which file you want. We'll open this one up here. Takes a minute or 2 to get that document uploaded, depending on the size. There we are there, it's uploaded. As soon as this gets uploaded to the cloud storage, we are notified. Then we have the report section. So the report section is various different reports that you can run at your leisure. So let's just click on CFGI income and tax summary. That's a great report to use during tax time. You can always run those via household registration. So these are all individual accounts, so showing up under this registration, or by individual account. So let's just keep this on the household. We'll look at the time period of the full year of 2017. We want it in a PDF. You can also have these done in Excel, and a direct download means it's just going to download directly to your computer. My Advisor Shared, that puts it in your cloud storage. So we're just going to click generate. Depending on the size of the document and the details inside of it, tax report can take a little bit more time than some of these others to run, just because it's running that entire year's worth of tax calculations. So while that's running, we'll just continue on. Over on the left side here of the 3 tabs is statements. Oh, there it just popped up. So this is looking at income or yield on the portfolios. So we have these 3 accounts in here. The yield on one was 1.68. The second one was 0.77. Third one is 3.82. Weighted average was 2.12. As we scroll down, the second page is giving us our tax data. So this area here is your realized cost basis. So this is the net result, gains or losses of items sold of the period of time that we ran the report. So what this is showing is over that period, first page of the report will show you the time. So period, the entire calendar year of 2017, these accounts had 23,000 of short-term gains. So unrealized would be if it was where it currently sits on all the securities that have not been sold. And then this breaks down here by tax ID number. Since we only have one tax ID number, that's why you're seeing one section with each account. This last page here, this keeps our CPAs and accountants happy. This gives the actual date acquired, the date sold, cost basis proceeds, short-term gains or losses, and calculates those all out. Very frequently, we use this report with our own CPAs or clients that call us needing to verify those. So it's great, again, great report during tax time. So back to this statement section. This is the area where your quarterly wealth report will be deposited. So roughly 10 business days after the end of each quarter, you will receive the statement drop into this section here, and that'll show those historically for as long as you would like. The next section here is the tools. So the RMD, I want to spend a little bit of time here. So RMD is required minimum distributions. So if you're over 70.5 and you have qualified dollars, so IRAs, think 401ks, 403bs, qualified or pre-tax assets, you're required to take a distribution. If the distribution is not made, you can be penalized up to 50% of the amount you should have taken. So it's very important to make sure you stay on top of those. We take care of this for you with one caveat. The account has to be feeding in our system for this to calculate correctly. Anything that's in the system will always be calculated correctly on those accounts. But But if we don't know about that IRA or other 403B or 401k, we obviously can't calculate that. So it's really important to have everything kind of feeding directly into the portal. But it'll show the amount that is supposed to be taken out, what's remaining, and what has been taken out so far on the year. This is another area that up here in your client portal, or I'm sorry, in your user profile that you can subscribe to as well. The other thing on any of these is, again, we just need to make sure we have the correct data in there. So if somebody is joining our firm mid-year, we would need the data of the value of those accounts on 12/31 of the previous year so we can make sure this is accurate for you. The second to last thing I'm going to review is the update section. This is just going to be an area that we keep you abreast of changes at our firm, things we see from a market perspective. Our analyst commentary is going to start coming on here as well. Just a quick snapshot from our analyst on what he feels about the market, where we're at, and where they looks like we may be going forward. The last thing I want to review is this section over here on the right. So this here, if you are using a computer and you click on the email address, what that's going to do is that's going to open up, there we have here, our default email client, and you can send an email to us directly. So it makes it pretty simple for you. If you click here on the address, that's going to pull up a Google map. The phone number, if you are on your mobile phone utilizing our mobile app, this will call our office. This one here is what I'm most excited about. So, or I should say one of the things I'm really excited about. It allows you to book that client review 24/7, 365, whenever is most convenient for you. So if you're on vacation and you and your wife are sitting at dinner and just talking and something comes up, hey, I need to, we need to go in and see Chad. You can pull out your phone, log in on your app, and click this client review section. That gives a live calendar, and you can directly book that review. So let's say that we know that we want to come in and see on May 9th at 9:15. That'll show all of the dates that are available at that point in time. So again, client review can easily be booked on there. You just click on the schedule appointment, click on client review, and we are going to add different types on here as time goes on. Sometimes individuals just want to have a quick conference call, so we're just going to do a conference call option on there as well. And then we'll also be adding our other remote locations shortly thereafter. Last piece I want to review is just a reminder. I do recommend everybody go in and update their user profile. That's really important. I think it makes sense to set up that two-factor authentication. The last piece is if you have any questions, you can submit those. And we're doing multiple webinars throughout the day, so we're going to reply to everybody's questions at one point at one time each day. The other is we have set up a new email address, and that's concierge@centorbifinancial.com. That is only going to be used for current clients. So any questions as the portal or just anything for us in general, you can always utilize that concierge@centorbifinancial.com. So again, I thank everybody for your time today. If you have any questions, you can submit those. One thing I would like to do before we leave or separate or end this webinar is I'm going to launch this poll real quick here. And as we spoke with clients and we were building out this portal, there's 4 areas that most people wanted to see. And that was, looking at my investment performance, keeping track of risk in my portfolio, the ability to see my total net worth, and then making sure my financial plan was on track. So what we're looking to find out is, of those 4, what are you most excited about or most looking forward to do? So I'm going to leave this live for about another 30 seconds to a minute, and then we'll close that poll out. So everybody just click on whichever one you believe that you are most looking forward to accessing. All right, it looks like most everybody is answered. Give everybody about 10 more seconds. Okay. Again, thanks everybody for spending some time with us. We appreciate it. We believe you're going to be just as excited about the portal as we are. So again, thanks everybody for your time. And if you have any questions, you can submit those directly to us. And thanks for your time.